Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Fools on a Hill music podcast. I'm your host Cal and I'm joined today by Liam. Hello.
Hi Callum. 12, it's a teenager, isn't it?
It's definitely not. That would be 13.
Oh, close though.
Jeez.
Almost there.
Brilliant.
Saved off for next week.
Lucky for some. I'm also joined by Yanni, as always.
He is
How
here.
do?
I do very well. Thank you very much.
Good stuff.
I'm just really excited to be here again. Yeah.
It's nice to see you again, Yanni.
You know what? It is.
Brilliant. It's been a long week, hasn't it, boys?
It's been far too long.
It has been a long week, and it doesn't feel like there's been enough, despite it being long, doesn't feel like there's been enough time to listen to music, but here we are.
We actually have less than normal this week and it still feels like we've got so much.
Have we managed to fit anything else in this week, other than the prescribed?
Absolutely not.
I went on a cracking walk today. That was nice.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Can't beat a nice walk.
No, it was nice.
Actually, yes, I tell a lie. The Far Side Running. Name, you might know that one more than Cal. But I listened to that. That was good.
I've never heard of that.
It's a 90s like rap.
Oh, the Far Side.
you-
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. It's very good.
Yes.
Also, Beverly Hills by Weezer and
That's where I wanna
Memories
be.
by Weezer. Yeah, exactly.
Memories,
I've
great.
been listening to those, and you'll never fucking believe it. I put on Man Alive by Everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't do anything for me.
Wow.
Serious.
Yep.
That's it. It's just
Yeah,
gone.
probably.
The chances have just gone of you ever liking that.
So I don't know if you should recommend a song from that, but it just nothing.
Schooling, My Key's Your Boyfriend,
Mac is your buff.
all of them, really. You should have just liked the album.
It was just, I don't know. I didn't really go. But let's not forget we had a day of Valentine.
We did.
We did indeed.
So I
Day
hope
of
you
love.
enjoyed the playlists.
The
I know
incessant-
it's a little early to be jumping on the playlist bandwagon, but I want to do it.
Very early.
Full of sexy tunes curated by yours truly,
Mm-hmm.
the Three Fools, Upon Your Hill, and there was also a nice little story that we put on Instagram with people's suggestions of songs. Obviously not as good as ours because they don't know anything about music.
It's true.
But
They're not experts like we are.
Nah.
no,
Please don't.
exactly.
Where can they find our Instagram page, boys?
On Instagram.
On Instagram.com.
Is there anyone's choice that you thought actually that was quite a good choice that I didn't think of? Or can you not remember?
I'm gonna.
I like Don't Delete the Kisses.
Yeah, that's a good tune.
I've thought of so many since then as well. I wish
I
I'd
know,
have done,
yeah.
but I'm going to save them for next year.
It's gonna be a recurring theme. Valentine's Day will happen again next year in case you
It
thought it
tends
was just
to.
a one-off. No, it will happen again.
Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Great tune.
Which one?
Obviously, it's a great song. It was the original. But, yeah.
Brilliant.
Forever, Chris Brown. Obviously
don't know
not a
if I
nice
know that.
person, but
Yeah.
tune.
Some of the
Cornerstone.
Track X from
Yeah, Track
Black Country.
Yeah,
Cornerstone, yeah.
Cornerstone.
Some
choice.
more contemporary love songs.
You know what? This is starting to feel long-winded, almost like a story. So,
Yanni,
what's the story?
the story today is that it's a special, very special person's birthday. Super special.
Mine's
Someone
not till
that
April,
is-
mate.
Is it not you, Yanni? Not you at all. Someone who is universally loved, appreciated by all music fans. It's the one and only Yoko Ono.
Yoko.
Is it Yoko Ono Lennon? Is that a full name? Or is that, did she take Lennon? But Yoko Ono turns
I think Lennon
88
took her.
today. 88 today, as of recording, Thursday the 18th of February, which it seems like a mystical number, 88. Don't know, two fat ladies and all that. Yoko Ono, known for being two fat ladies.
Bingo!
Happy birthday.
Thanks, mate.
No, to Yoko. I mean,
Okay.
I like the album she did with John Lennon called Double Fantasy,
Yes.
but just John Lennon's part.
Well, there's a
more.
remix.
Is it Kiss? Is it a Kiss or something like that?
There's a remix of
That's,
Walking on Thin Ice.
find
That's a
out.
great tune.
I'm gonna double check what
Specifically,
I'm
the remix of Walking on Thin Ice. Not. I got it on record, and it is not the version I knew, and I was quite sad.
But anyway, happy birthday to the one and only Yoko Ono. I'm sure everyone will be celebrating.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
I
George
don't
Harrison
know.
is raising one for her down up above, looking down on her.
John Lennon's
why,
not though,
why
is he?
George?
George hated
Oh.
it, didn't he?
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry. Funny enough, nothing to do with George Harrison, but to do with Yoko Ono's offspring. I was listening to the Lennon Claypool Delirium the other day,
Oh,
which
it's
is
them not so long ago.
Sean Lennon. Listen to that. The second album's really good. And
I've
then
not
I
listened
started
to
listening
any of Sean's stuff.
I've listened to his own stuff, but the stuff with Les Claypool's really good.
Give it a whirl.
And then listened to some Primus,
Mm.
and Primus were really good. It turns out. I also listened to some Rush, which is completely unrelated. But,
Rushified!
That's why you need to do that.
I'll stop that.
Slap up
Sorry
that
for that.
boss.
Slap the boss, man.
Yeah.
That's how I jam with my boss.
I wish people could see you doing that.
Oh.
Well, they
Just
can't.
look
so
just
I have
like
to
Paul
imagine.
Rudd.
I wish one of us looked like Paul Rudd.
I'd love to, look like Paul Rudd.
I'd love to smell Paul Rudd.
Hmm.
Look more
Lick?
like
What?
Super fella. Right, next up, the band Yuck
Ugh.
have announced they are no longer making music. They're
What?
essentially splitting up, I guess.
What?
Are you shocked, Yanni? How are you sad?
I genuinely am shocked, yeah, because I read something. Well, I say I read it. Clearly, I didn't. It was that. Must have been that.
Well, have you read maybe on the thing here that says that they are announced they are no
No.
longer making music?
No.
Okay.
It's
Well,
all,
they've
like,
said
tweets and
anyway.
stuff.
That they're going to stop making music. They did say more stuff as well, but that was the most important part. I don't know if they're going to carry on separately or anything like that. It didn't seem like they were splitting. You know,
I
there
think
was
the lead singer's
differences.
doing his own thing. Sorry to cut across you.
Right. No, that's fine. It's good for you to have more information. I've never really listened to Yuck. Oh, I think I've given them a go. I don't think I was a massive fan.
I like
Don't know,
you.
yeah.
the album Yuck by Yuck. Genuinely, it's just called Yuck. Get Away. That's a tune. I think I've told you about that, Cal. It's a good song.
Oh, maybe. But the name doesn't ring a bell, but maybe I have heard it. I don't know.
So, thanks Yuck for the music and best of luck with your
Songs
future
I'm
ventures.
singing.
I'm singing.
That's the one. That's how it goes. Next up, talking of Yuck, Matty Healy has shared on his, I'm guessing, Instagram story on
Yep.
Instagram.com, or .fr if you're in France, maybe. ES in Spain.
That's enough of that.
.com.au in Australia.
I said that's enough of that, mate.
He's announced that Callum, you explain this. I still don't know what's going on with this.
He put up an Instagram story saying he was finishing Drive Like I Do today, which was on February 14th. He then put up another story saying it wasn't a whole album. So this is kind of a bit of non-news, really. We don't know what it is. It might be nothing. But
Let's hope.
whatever it is, it can't be as bad as Notes on a Conditional Form. Can it?
I think it could be as
I
bad.
think it'd be
Oh,
worse.
have you
I know what
actually
you're
have you
saying.
actually heard the album? Because I'm not convinced it can be worse. If it is worse, then that is some sort of achievement.
I don't think he can go any better than that. I feel like if you can put an album like that, that's it now. You're settled. So we'll say mentioned that this was possibly, I don't know if you were making this up, but the name of the 1975 before they were
Yeah, it was.
the 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I
Think
presume this is going to be more of a direction of their old stuff, which I think was more like pop punk, was it? Or have I dreamt that?
Oh wow.
I think so.
I
Let's
don't
just say
really.
it is. No one's
Yeah.
going to know, are they? And they can't argue with us because it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
It was goth rock.
Take that.
Um,
I think it was Baroque pop. That's what I'm going with. So yeah, great, fantastic. Thank you, Matty. Thanks for the music. Next,
Oh my god.
next up, Wolf Alice have been teasing. I assume this is going to be an album. I don't think there's been any more information on it, has there?
But when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Well, there we go. But they've been throwing around the title "Last Man on Earth."
Launching it.
They've had a website rebrand, I guess, and a social media rebrand, and a video of an eye. Was the music on that video, Callum?
Not to my knowledge. There might have been some ambient noises, but I can't remember. I won't lie.
So we don't really know anything about this then, I guess, do we?
No.
And not
It might not
lack
even
of
be an
research.
album. It might be a song. It
It
might be
seems
a
like the
clothing
beginning
brand.
to tease an album. It would be weird to the way they teased it to do it as anything else. What are you doing, Liam?
So that was an accident. I clicked on the video. There was noise on the video,
Ambient noise.
which I'm sure Callum's cut
Whale
out.
song.
Um,
Yeah, so that's that. We don't know what it is again because we don't know anything.
Seems like it's going to be an album.
Lounge Society EP announced. Silk for the Starving out in June. Liam, do you know about this band?
Yeah, that was some great. It really felt that from you, then, Yanni. Thanks for that.
It's alright. Just
Lot
trying
of
to move
love.
things along, you know.
Lot of love. Yeah, Lounge Society. We covered their song, The Lounge Society. Sorry, I didn't put the. We covered their song "Burn the Heather" some moons ago, which I think we all kind of liked.
I can't remember.
And
Don't
yeah, I haven't
don't
listened to it.
assume.
I think we all liked it. I think it was the one with the cowbell. I
I-
could be wrong though.
What with the horrible
With
cue
the-
bass.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
very. It
no.
was kind of
No,
annoying.
I did not like that. No,
But do you not? I mean, if you forget the cowbell, the song was good.
you.
That wasn't cowbell. That was a
so
metronome.
intrusive that you.
Yeah,
cannot
sorry, it was meant
forget
to.
about it.
That's
That's like you don't like a song because of the singer, and then going, yeah, but just ignore the singer. You know.
yeah, but yeah, I mean,
No.
I wouldn't. I didn't notice the metronome, and still don't really.
Deaf.
I mean, I do because I've heard it, but it doesn't bother me.
Bothered me.
And me.
But anyway, they have announced this EP. They've also released a new song which came out today. And
We'll
which
give
we'll
our
talk
thoughts on
about
that in a
later, I
sec.
guess.
Yeah. Do you want me to do the next one, Liam? Since you
Go
don't know. Andy Nicholson has his own thing project called Gold Teeth. He will be releasing an EP on streaming sites as of the 26th. It is now out on Bandcamp, but we've not listened to it, so we're just going to listen to it once it's on streaming platforms when most people will be able to listen to it. From what I know, it's like a collaboration, basically. He's asked for people
Yeah.
to send in stuff, and he's just like
Oh yeah.
remixed and reworked stuff. Well, that's the description. It says like asking for like artists to send in, and don't send me anything that you cherish because it might get chopped up, looped, and stretched and stuff. So I can imagine it's going to be
Bonkers.
okay, Dizzy. Yeah.
I saw this a couple of days ago and thought it sounded really interesting. I was about to message Yanni and say we send some of the shit we've done over, but it was too late. But
Thanks
yeah,
for telling me now, then, mate.
yeah, no, I saw it and it was. I was like, oh, that's upsetting. But
I also
it sounds
wouldn't
like it
want
could
him
be
to
cool.
mess with anything that we've done. So, but yeah, good for.
That's true.
Has he been doing anything else since?
I think
He
he's
did part of the
produced.
Gold Teeth. He's released songs with Gold Teeth.
All right, okay. So yeah, that should be exciting. I think we're all pretty looking forward to that. I imagine just to see what it does, really, see what he's capable
Yeah.
of.
Something
He
interesting.
he
Go on.
had a song. Sorry to jump in.
Oh, please.
As Gold Teeth, he had a song. I can't remember what it was called, but it sounded just like Childish Gambino's Redbone, the bass line.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I remember
Do you
that now.
remember?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember
Okay.
what it was called though.
Anyway,
But yes,
do you know more about the next one? Anyone in this podcast?
Well, I added it, but I don't really know anything about it. The Million Masks of God, the new album by Manchester Orchestra, has been announced, and it's to be released on the 30th of April 2021. Any of us listened to Manchester Orchestra before the tune that was released?
I
Yes.
felt like you've told us to listen to them, or like we've had to listen to one other song before.
Mm.
Because I remember
don't
the
think
name.
We've had to. I know the song "The Gold," which is a good song in itself, and then there's a Nick Waterhouse remix, which was really good. That's the version I know most. So maybe I've sent that on. Possibly,
Maybe.
but
I personally haven't listened to them before, so
I don't want to say too much because we've got to talk about a song in a sec. And the last thing, does Liam, do you want to take the floor with this one?
I'll take this one.
You're his best mate.
I'm actually his best mate. We're very good friends. No. Alfie Templeman, young genius. We'll go with that. I just had to get in the fact that he's so young, because it's impressive. He's announced his album. I think is it a mini album? I don't think it's a full album. Either way, it's called Forever Isn't Long Enough, and it's coming out in May this year. We covered his side project Aerial Days, possibly on a practice episode.
I think it was, yeah. I think it was the first one.
Could be. No, wasn't. Definitely wasn't.
Okay.
But
no, it wasn't the first one.
There is a single with this, which I guess we'll talk about later. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with it.
Yes, hopefully it'll be hot. Segue into what is this? Oh my god, it's so hot. Oh my god, I'm on fire. It's burning my soul. Someone hot off the press.
Callum.
Hello.
Callum.
How do, Lee?
Tell us about it. I know it's not, but is it hot?
It's so cold in this area. I have had the unfortunate...
Why are you putting down there?
I've had the unfortunate job of listening to Pale Waves and their new album, Who Am I? Should have been called What Is This? Because that is a question I had on my mind throughout. I'm not going to lie to you. I've only managed to listen to it once. I tried a second time and I couldn't get past the fourth song.
I believe you.
I fully believe you.
Yeah. Positives. There are very, very few.
Positives.
But I do quite like the songs Change and She's My Religion. They're ones that we've previously spoke about when they came out as singles, and I still do quite like them. I mean, I'm not going to carry on listening to them after this, believe me. But if if they came on, I wouldn't mind. You know? I do think the album suffers.
I don't know.
I do think the album
does suffer. That's the end of the sentence.
Yeah. Yanni, up next.
No, the album suffers from everything I thought it would suffer from, based on the singles.
Pale Waves.
Yeah, based on the fact they are Pale Waves, based on the singles, and based on their first album. I think the songs are so basically structured, it's actually painful. Very boring. I think they talk about important topics in the lyrics. However, I don't think they're delivered very well. And I understand it's not aimed at me. But I still don't think that should be a problem when reviewing an album. If you think it's shit, it's shit. You know what I mean? Yep. Even if it's not aimed at me, the music should hold up. Yes. Which it doesn't. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a very generous 2 out of 5.
I feel like that's generous.
That is far too generous.
Yeah.
Go
on. I know listening. Going into this week, you two had told me you weren't going to even bother.
Yeah.
Did you bother?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Brilliant.
I got a few songs in.
Oh, he did bother then.
Well, yeah. So, as we've mentioned, it's been a bit of a busy week. There's been a lot going on. But I did sit down at the beginning of the week to give this a go. Was Easy a single? Have I made that up?
Yeah. Really monotonous.
So I think I got to Easy where so that's three out of the 4. There's 4 songs in, and 3 of those 4 songs have been singles.
Mm-hmm.
and the one that was from the album Fall to Pieces, which I hadn't heard before, wasn't good, and then I think I stopped.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's about where I stopped. So I don't really have. I just knew I wasn't going to enjoy it. If you can't get it in the first 4 songs, it's just not going to happen. So I just saved my time.
Yeah. Yanni, I've got a task for you.
Oh.
Without hearing the album, sum it up in a sentence, because I can guarantee it will be correct.
Shit 90s / early noughties girl rock wannabe.
Well, I wasn't wrong, was I?
Bob on. Isn't that from the back of the album? That's on the back of the CD.
It's actually the first line of the first song.
Yeah. Oh.
But yes, that is all I have to say on the matter. Not a good week for me. Next.
Clearly not.
Ian.
It's a me, Liam. So this week I had the abject. Is that a word? I don't. Abject. Don't know. I had
Just
the
keep on
pleasure.
saying it, mate.
I don't know what word I'm actually
Abject.
trying to look for here. I had the distinct pleasure of listening to abject isn't the right word. Of listening to the album called Call Your Mum, and it is by Goan Dogs. Now,
disclaimer
here. I did mention this on last week's episode. This album came out a week before. Right, what's I supposed to explain this? This should have been covered last week if it was to be within the right timing that we have on these podcasts. Friday to Thursday of the week previous. This should have been covered on last week's episode. I discovered just before recording last week's episode that I'd forgotten this album was coming out. We'd already picked our albums and listened to them, blah, blah. So I really wanted to cover it. So I made the executive decision as boss of this podcast that I will be listening to it this week.
Okay.
And covering as the face of this
that
podcast.
shut you right down. Just his little okay.
We'll be covering this album. So Goan Dogs, Call Your Mum.
Call Your Mum. Right.
Do you know what? It'd be really nice to give her a call. It's lockdown. Probably haven't seen you in a while. Just give her a call. Make a day.
Give her a call. I ignored my mum's call earlier today.
Oh well.
I was busy, but I didn't call her back. So this album, right? I've listened to this many, many times, so I know how I feel about this album, which is that I very much enjoy it.
It's at this point we should say Liam hasn't made any notes and will
I made no
completely waffling like
Compared
usual,
to-
but even more so.
Compared to last week when
Yeah.
I had written, a planned waffle for Black Country New Road for about half an hour.
What's
think
a
of how much
Goan,
crap he
Liam?
talks
Liam,
when
what's
he
a
has
Goan?
notes. Just think of what it's going to be like now.
To answer your question, Yanni at the back. Answer your question. Goan. So there's a place
Wait,
in
hold on.
India. There's a. I'm getting to the point. That's where I'm going. There's a place in India called Goa, and there are dogs there, and therefore they are Goan dogs.
Right.
Like, English for England, Goan for Goa. Hope that makes sense.
It does. And
It does.
that's enough from Liam.
Right, no, let me get to some information.
Hit me with
I
it.
love a lot of the vocal melodies throughout this album. I loved a lot of the bass lines. I think for a debut album from a band with only like 2,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, this is a very competent and feels like a very well established ground for a band that haven't really released anything before this. A lot of singles, but no albums or anything like that. Very solid songwriting. The structure of the album itself was really good. There's 2 interludes as well. Kind of interludes. I don't know why I was going to describe that in a different way.
They allude into.
They're great, and they slide in nicely, and they are actually really good musically. They're not just kind of throwaways. Few stand out. I really like Nothing Like This. I like the opener Anxiety. God Loves a Trier is good. It's hard to kind of grasp kind of influences, I think, because I feel like they're quite a unique but but still
Why
kind of
did you announce that so loudly?
Oh,
Unique.
sorry. They're quite a unique band, but still reachable.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If that makes sense. Still within grasp. They're still within grasp. They don't feel
She's not.
unusual. Yeah, he's showing obscene things on the camera, but I'm all for it. It's not his dick. I'm sorry. Much better. Yeah, so unique, but still kind of in the realm of modern music. There was one song that clear influences was Now or Never, which sounded very early Tame Impala. The only song I'd heard before this was Drinking on School Night, which we covered many years ago on this podcast, which is still a great song, still a standout. I've already said my standouts, haven't I? Yep. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, vocal melodies are really good, the bass lines are really good, the sound of the album is really kind of strong, and like it kind of just goes, and it feels good. It's a good album to listen to. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to hearing more. I wish I'd made more notes, but I don't really know what else to say apart from like I just kind of liked everything about it. Some of the guitar lines are really good as well. The drums are great throughout. And some just interesting kind of songwriting and structure and things like that. There's one song which is called I Don't Want to Fight, I'm going to say. Without playing out loud, like I always tend to do.
You've done that so many times on this recording.
It's supposed to play it in my ear. No, it's not. I Don't Want to Fight. I Don't Want to Fight goes places that are really good. But there's one song, I can't remember what it's called, which one it is, but it kind of has like this key change in the chorus. That's part of the chorus. It kind of goes up 2 steps. Don't know if that's really counts as a key change, but it doesn't feel like it's just going up 2 like it doesn't feel like a progression. It feels like a key change and then kind of bounces back down. On one of the songs, as I say, I can't remember which one it was, but I very much enjoyed this album anyway. I'm going to finish on that.
What would you rate it?
4 out of 5. Solid 4 out of 5.
Blimey.
Really like it. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
Very good.
I think the last song is one of the weaker ones, which is a bit of a shame. But I might just be saying that because I might be wrong by saying that. I might actually disagree with that, but who knows?
What's the name of the last song?
It's the title track, Call Your Mum.
Oh, well, that doesn't ring a bell.
No, actually, listen to it again. It's perfectly fine.
What an emotional roller coaster.
What did you guys think?
Ripping.
I hope you listened.
Jan?
I did not listen to it.
Brilliant. I mirror all your thoughts. I really, really like the vocals on the album, particularly. Now or Never and Drinking on a School Night were my 2 highlights, and Anxiety as well, the opener. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Good stuff.
Glad to hear that. Yanni, you should listen to it. I meant to say... Go on, sorry. You listen to it right now. We'll wait.
No. Okay.
It reminded me, the one, not influence, but the thing it reminded me of when I'm talking about it being kind of unique, but still within, whatever I was trying to say. It reminded me a bit of Caro that we covered.
Yeah, I got that.
But in no real, it didn't actually sound like it. There's some parts are kind of similar, I guess, but the same kind of individuality in a similar way to Caro. And that's the end of that one. Yanni, up next. Line it up.
Django is the band I had to listen to this week, Glowing in the Dark. I, not gonna lie, fully listened to it for the first time 30 minutes before recording this. I had listened to the odd song throughout the week, but again, it's been chocker, so not really had time to digest it. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't really clued up on Django Django, so this album took me by surprise. I didn't think they would sound this way, but I did go back and listen to some old stuff and realised that this isn't unusual for them, really. However, I think that might be a bad thing, which I'll get onto later. It was the Psych Rock, apparently. I googled them because I didn't really know anything about them, but I thought I did. And this one was quite dancey. The rhythms and everything were quite upbeat and dancey throughout. But yeah, definitely not what I expected it to be. So my notes are probably going to be shite, apologies for that. But
How
I
could you
have
follow
not.
such a great review from Liam?
Well,
So
prepared.
I liked the intro build up in the first song, Spirals, and the end solo. However, the rest of it was, I don't know, just a bit. I felt like the album was a bit monotonous, to be honest with you, the whole thing. And yeah, that led on to like the next two songs, Right the Wrongs and Got Me Worried, which I just thought were very meh. It didn't. The album hasn't really grabbed me at this point, so it's all a bit downhill. Because as everyone knows at this point, if it doesn't grab me straight away, I'm not really interested. So it really had to find something to claw its way back. Waking Up was something that made me a bit more interested again in it, but I think that was
Were
only
you
made
asleep before that, or
Wake Me Up Inside. Was made better by Charlotte
Gainsbourg?
Gainsberger. Liam doesn't know either. He just wants to say a different.
It's Gainsbourg, I'm sure.
um,
Serge Gainsbourg's daughter.
Serge. It was made better by her feature, but it was at that point that I realised I didn't like lead singer's voice, like of Django Django. So I would have preferred if she was just the singer. But obviously that's not going to happen. She's her own person, actress, singer, songwriter. She does her own stuff with this aforementioned wink wink Surge. Head Rush, I'd say, was a standout track. I really liked the bass on that. Can be a bit repetitive, but I think it was groovy enough that it kept me interested. The World Will Turn was quite odd, because it was like just straight up acoustic. When I was first going through it, I thought that was quite nice, but looking back, it doesn't really suit the album at all, because the rest of it is not like that whatsoever. It is the slow one, but like not in the same style that fits the album. So it's just a very oddball track to throw in there. The title track, Glowing in the Dark, was also very strange, but that was because it was like very much a dance track, like mid-naughty dance pop, which I kind of liked, but it was a bit odd to sort of go into that. And then Asking for More, which is the last song on the album, I'd say that's also another standout track. I really liked the chorus. That was a good part of the track. Well done on whoever wrote the chorus, because he did a good job with that. Overall, though, like I said, didn't enjoy his voice, which is a major component of a band where they have a singer. And I just thought there was a bit too much. I would have liked... The songs I liked would have just made an EP, and I would have quite liked the EP. I didn't really like how much there was. It was just a bit too much for me. So it's a bit middle of the... I don't know what the word is. It's just a bit middle-ish. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Wow. Very good.
Did anyone else listen to this?
Liam?
I did listen to it. I listened to it once. So obviously, Glowing in the Dark, we have covered on here previously, I think.
Have we?
And I really, yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't remember that.
That's how I knew the album was coming up.
Well, fair enough.
But I remember really liking that, to be honest. I was hoping the album was like that. And as you've mentioned, Yanni, the rest of the album is completely different. So, and I think it's like, without looking, it's quite late on in the album, that single, isn't it?
I think it's 3 from the end.
Yeah, it is 3 from the end. Yeah.
So it was kind of like I started playing the album. I was like, oh, this is actually completely different to that song. This is really weird. But I quite liked it.
That leans into like the dancey elements more than any of the song on the album. So yeah, it's very odd.
But even from not hearing the single for a while and listening to the album, I remember thinking this feels completely different. And then when that song came on, it just didn't fit at all. Like it seemed so random. But it's still probably the highlight for me. But I did enjoy the rest of the album. But it wasn't anything groundbreaking, I don't think, for me.
No. I mean, I looked at other people's, I think it was Pitchfork, I looked at just to find out like more about the band themselves so I could pass that information on, or like what was psych rock. But their review of it was just, it was a bit overkill, which I completely agree. It just was too much for me as well. But I didn't really listen to much of their old stuff when I went back. But it's all pretty much the same. It seems like they're doing just the same thing essentially, which is just very boring, unfortunately. So Django, which I know is not how you pronounce it, by the way. It's Django. Just change it up, stir it up, as Bob Marley once said.
He did.
Only
Callum,
once,
what do you
though.
think?
I liked it more than you two. I did like it quite a bit, to be fair, but as you say, it's not really groundbreaking, but I don't know, I still was a fan. Glowing in the Dark was my highlight, and as you say, I do wish it lent more into that. I think it would have been a lot more interesting as a result, but yeah, Head Rush and Night of the Buffalo were two other standouts for me.
God,
But
did you ever
yes.
listen to them back in the day? I remember distinctly when they were kind of popular, but I never listened to them.
Yeah, I listened to them sporadically, but I don't recall anything. They might have had like a iTunes free single of the week back in the day or something. That kind of rings a bell.
That's kind of like what my thoughts were. I thought I knew them more than I did. That's why I was like,
I
yeah,
did
I'll
too.
do this. And then I was like, oh, this wasn't what I was expecting from an
Yeah.
album. And then went back and realised that I didn't recognise any of the album or like single artworks apart from the one in 2018, I think, which is like a statue figure with like an orange around the penis to cover that up on the album art. I recognised that one when that seemed familiar to me. But yeah, I thought I knew what they were more than I did, and the surprise wasn't good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Each to their own.
So-
But talking of
Their own,
their own, and
that works well.
objectively great songs that no one can have a bad opinion about because they're just wrong. They're just wrong. Taylor Swift, the one and only songstress of the universe,
From the moon.
as we mentioned, from the moon.
She's still falling.
She's still
Perpetual motion.
She's on her way down. She's going fast. We mentioned last week she's releasing a redo of her album Fearless. Is that right? Yeah.
13, I thought it was
We'll
called.
go with that. 13. 13
Nah,
is
it's
the
Fearless.
Liam
It's
Godfrey remix. She did drop Taylor's version of Love Story. I'm just going to start. It's one of the best songs I've written. It is. It's so good.
It
It's
really
genuinely
is.
so good.
It's such a good pop song, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It's beautiful. The story is beautiful. It's well written. It hits every note. It's powerful. It takes a step up. The bridge is beautiful. Oh, everything. The ending. It's such a satisfying ending. It's got such a great conclusion. I love it.
It really is good.
And this version, is the same song. Really, I didn't really.
Yeah,
didn't really
it sounds a bit
expect
more
difference.
modern, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds
The only
more fresh.
major difference is her voice, really.
Has she re-recorded it? Is that what's?
Yeah.
I
Well, she
assume
have
she was
to.
just remix. Oh, of course. So
Otherwise, she
Yeah.
can't get away with what she's doing.
she managed to get a right to the. Because I assume this was all. I know we mentioned this last week about her not having the rights to some of her music. Has she got the rights to the song but not the music?
Yeah, I think it's the distribution of it, probably.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah,
But
it definitely sounds fresher.
I did go I compare, and the main difference is more her vocal performance, which is obviously going to have changed because she was, I don't know, however young when she first recorded
Yeah.
Um,
the song.
13.
Is there more? Wait, is there
I think
more
she's like 16,
background
actually.
instrumentation, or is it just mixed better?
I couldn't tell.
It's just a
I-
different mix.
It felt different to me, Callum. I agree,
Yeah.
but I couldn't really work out.
However, I'm
I-
also in a way I'm quite glad that she didn't. As much as I've enjoyed Folklore and Evermore, I'm quite glad it's not in that style and it's kind of stuck true to the original
Well, that's
Yeah.
the whole.
style.
I think that's the whole point of this, and this is why there'll be no complaint of this from any of us. That it is meant to be as accurate and true to the original
Yeah,
as
Mhm.
possible, because it's what she obviously wanted, but she can't have the rights to distribute it until she re-records all the stuff herself. So, yeah, it's going to be the same, but that's what everyone wants, isn't it?
It's still interesting though how it doesn't feel that far away from Folklore and Evermore, in a way.
Yeah.
It feels like this could be from a follow-up album to those, in a way, I guess.
Yeah, I think this
But,
kind of
you
leans
shit.
more into pop stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do get what you mean. There's definitely elements of
He gets it. The
It's
man
awesome.
knows. But so that was enjoyable for everyone who listened. If you haven't listened and enjoyable, it will be. Yes.
Enjoy.
The next one is EP number 2. Sorry, EP 2 by JPEG Mafia. There's an exclamation mark, so I had to
Yeah.
shout
Exclaim. You have to exclaim.
it. Liam, this was
Hi,
not
Yanni.
what I was expecting. What did you expect from this?
I've not listened to JPEG Mafia much, to be honest. I've listened to some of his stuff, and it's always kind of weird.
Yeah,
Am I right
weird.
in saying that? And
Yeah.
this was quite boring.
Yeah, I thought it
so
was quite
I-
boring as well.
I only skipped through it because it seemed boring. So I don't really have much to say apart from that.
How?
never listened to JPEG Mafia before. Quite liked Last Dance, I think. Is it the first song? Is it called Last Dance? Don't know.
Yeah,
Could
why
be.
not? I'll say it is.
Sure.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
that
wasn't.
yeah.
I wasn't mad on anything else, but there was parts I enjoyed. But I don't have any reference to previous stuff they've done, so I don't really know. It was alright.
Yeah,
Okay.
do you have any deeper thoughts on this?
No. Why?
No, that's fine. We'll
Here's
move
what
on.
you've
then.
all come for.
We'll move on to the most important entry. This
Highlight of the week.
You're putting this
Two entries.
third in, not waiting till the end.
Yeah, because you've got to
Oh.
kind of warm people up. We have the phenomenal track that's come from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Hun ?
I'm alright, yeah.
Recorded by Banana Drama and United King Dolls. Now, Callum and I are both Drag Race fans, the UK at least, Cal, and so we both heard this on the episode. So I think we should just give our opinions first, Callum, and then
Yeah.
what we're going to do, Yanni's just listened to these, and we want to ask him who he thinks, he doesn't know, he hasn't listened to them enough, who he thinks won the challenge based
While you're
off
discussing
what
it,
he
I'm
said.
going to rewatch it very
Or-
quickly.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever. Shut up then.
But we're going to ask Yanni anyway, which of the two groups he thought won the challenge. So Callum, what do you think of this track on its own? First of all,
I think
separate the two groups.
obviously the verses are different in both songs.
Mhm.
However, the chorus is so annoyingly catchy. It's just why is it that catchy?
It's ridiculous.
I'm a bit sick of it now because Karis is just never off TikTok, it seems, and
Mm-hmm.
every time I walk into a room, I hear Bing Bang Bong.
Yeah, but it could be driver's license, mate.
That could be worse. Yeah,
I still don't know what that tune is. I feel like
How?
I don't know. I might know it if I heard it, but
I've grown to like it actually. Callum.
Oh, no.
you're fired. But yeah, it's good. I liked it.
It's an earworm, isn't it? It's a real earworm.
Yeah, it is. It has not
Um,
left.
It was stuck in my head. I was singing it non-stop for days
Yeah.
after. It really got stuck in my head. It's so simple.
It is
I think
so simple.
it's very simple. The two versions. So we've got Banana Drama and United King Dolls. Do you want to run through who the drag queens are in each group?
Yes,
if you want.
because I can't remember.
So Banana Drama was Joe Black, Sister, Ellie Diamond, and
Tea Coffee.
Tia Coffee.
Not a good group.
United King Dolls, therefore, was Ahura, Tace, Lawrence Cheney, and
Bimini.
Bimini Bombulash.
Yes.
Who was your favourite? Who's your favourite? Well, let's say who's your least favourite verse that you can remember?
Honestly, there's one group whose performance I can't remember one bit.
Oh, that's good.
However, I don't
Don't
want
tell
to.
me who won, by
Yeah,
the
'cause-
way.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it's- you
However,
spoiled it.
I don't want to give that away because
Okay.
obviously Yanni will hear us.
Can you name your favourite person from this challenge? Then?
Well, I thought Lawrence Chaney's verse was funny, but you mentioned before the delivery was shocking.
Very
And
good.
while I agree, I do feel like that's kind of part of Lawrence's charm. But,
Mm-hmm.
it gets to a point where it's a bit like, right, you've done that now.
Yeah.
But Bimini is my favourite on
Mm-hmm.
this series. So I've got to stick true to the Boulash.
Yeah, I think Bimini's verse was, definitely had one of the best lines. I think Yanni will probably mention in a minute. And also her just singing in the background with like that East London accent.
Yeah.
It's just very obvious. I quite like that. My
I
least
got to that
favourite.
line again. It was fantastic.
It's very good. It's very good.
So good.
Obviously, you've seen the episode. Joe Black had a lot of a big problem with the line and no cigar. She couldn't get that
Cigar.
pronunciation. She couldn't get that right.
It was
And
still not right in
I
the final
can't-
recording, was it? They
It's
didn't
not
even
right.
they didn't even chop it right.
I can't get rid of that in my head. I didn't mind. I quite liked Sister Sisters. I was shocked by that actually. I didn't. Ellie Diamond's voice I didn't like, and Ahora's sexy voice was just
That upset
didn't
me.
like that.
That did
Didn't
upset
like
me.
that.
Not a big fan of a horror, really.
No, I agree. I think that's enough talking about drag queens. We might as well start
Well-
a drag race podcast. Yanni, are you? How
This
are
has
you?
been a long 4
Am I
minutes.
ready to
Jan.
go?
Have you
Well, I
listened to
dunno.
them?
I'm ready to go.
Oh, you could have said
Yanni,
we were just trying to
w-
kill time there.
Oh, sorry.
Yanni, give us
Um,
your thoughts and then tell us who you think was
my
the
thoughts.
better.
Okay. I don't know any of the names, so I'm gonna have to describe the individuals.
You can do it in order.
to you.
'Cause I remember the
Careful.
order, I think.
Okay. From United Kingdoms, sorry,
Yep.
which I'm just gonna say outright, they were the best. They were phenomenal. The second person who had like the fiery kind of outfit with the, I don't know who they would be.
She's trying to be like sexy voice, like a.
They had the most female voice.
That'd be a horror, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they were good. The black person on their team,
Taste.
their rap was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, rap
it
was
w-
good.
It was very good. I enjoyed that. It didn't seem cringe, like normally when people rap and it's like I know. Stop
Drag
doing it.
queens rapping is always bad, so this was quite good.
That was enjoyable. But yeah, the best line was whatever it fucking was.
I've
Where
got
is
the
it?
line. Do you want me to
Yes,
read it?
please read it.
Gender bender, system offender. I like it rough, but my lentils tender.
Fantastic.
Says everything you need to know there.
You
all
don't
there.
get that anywhere else.
Don't get
you know.
that quality.
You only get that on BBC Three.
So, yes, and it just sounded like the guy from The Prodigy just stepped in and said those words.
Really did.
So yeah, I enjoyed that, and the split drop at the end that they
Yes.
did was incredible. Mind
Unbelievable.
blown. So yeah, if United Kingdoms didn't win, I presume I've got the right person there. Then
Sounds-
it's a travesty.
Tell us about banana drama.
Just shit, really. To be honest, I
Just
didn't
very
really-
lackluster on it.
I didn't like. I what I did find funny, apart from that line, was that every time it cut back to RuPaul, they looked like they'd never seen a person in drag before. They're like, what? Huh? What? Like that
So-
constantly. Go watch that link that Carl sent.
What you haven't seen from that video, I know we need to stop talking about RuPaul's Drag Race, but RuPaul was absolutely fuming at that,
Yeah.
which is why that face was
Why are they fuming?
worn.
So United King Dolls won. You're right. Well done.
Good. They should have won.
And they performed first.
Okay.
So everyone was buzzing. Everyone was having
Yeah.
a good time. This is good. This is good stuff. And then Banana Drama came on, and RuPaul was absolutely just disappointed in every aspect of it because it just
Well,
wasn't good.
It was shit. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Joe Black was wearing a high street dress. And
Yeah, sure.
Honest
What's
to
wrong
God.
with that? They can't afford anything.
no, they
more
got to
than
make
that,
their own
then.
stuff. Come on, Jan. This is
Oh,
like
they didn't add
throw a
anything
few
to it.
sequins on there, Jan.
They
Do you
didn't
know
add
what I mean?
anything to it.
Straight
this is
off
week.
the
This
rack.
is week 6 now.
Off the
Come
rack.
on.
This is just off the rack. Oh my god.
Off the rack. How many years we've been doing this? 15
In that case,
years
I
in the
wouldn't have
game.
even.
Come on.
I wouldn't have made that mistake. So I mean, I'm fuming that they did. Anyway,
Um,
so that was that one.
How'd you like
The next one was Alfie Templeman with "Everybody's Gonna Love Somebody." My comment on this was: is he now on Dirty Hit?
Oh wow.
And if that isn't the greatest insult to any musician, I don't know what.
I felt like a punch in the gut.
Mhm.
That hit hard. As a good friend of Alfie's, that really hit.
But you agree, right?
He would
What
be a
did you
better
think?
signing, but I get it.
For this song, it was just it was not very good. Is anyone speaking? I feel like no one else is going to say anything.
Just listen.
I didn't think it was reinventing the wheel, but I thought it was all right. It was quite funky, but it's not anything special, is it? Really?
Yeah, I think we said this on when we talked about Aerial Days, that I think we all preferred that kind of style to his popular.
Yeah.
I think we did. But still, it's still pretty good. Yeah, funky song, I guess. I quite liked it.
I think you're a bit
What was it?
harsh with the Dirty Hit.
No, that's
So-
really how I felt,
I
though.
see the link. I do see it.
I don't have
the
any personal
negative.
attachment to Alfie Templeman, so I can say what I want. And that is genuinely how I felt.
I should say that I'm not actually friends with Alfie Templeman.
You're not going to be after
Um,
this, either.
I am in a group chat with him, but I'm not. There's a lot of other people there. But I see the Dirty Hit thing, but I don't necessarily. The negativity that comes with that, I don't think is.
Warranted.
As I say, he would be a better signing of Dirty Hit.
Hey, look, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's-
slagging Dirty Hit off. What do you mean?
I mean, you should.
I'd like to
To be
say that
fair.
Oscar Lang and Wolf Alice are exempt from this slander.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I forgot they were on there.
But yes,
I would. Yeah.
that
yeah.
brings us to our next one. Personal trainer with the EP Gazebo. I don't know why I said it like that. Gazebo. Liam, I know you are a fan
Yes.
of personal trainer, so do you want to hit me with your personal trainer thoughts?
I am. So we've heard Politics and Muscle Memory before. I think both on this pod, maybe just Muscle Memory. I
don't
didn't love Politics at first, but Muscle Memory I really liked. I know I talk about that odd note, but I've got used to that now. I think it's a really good song. I think this EP is really good. I think it's really, really good. I think all
Yeah.
the songs are quite different. Even like, what was I going to say now? The Loser weirdly reminds me of a band that I talked about not long ago. I can't remember what they're called. Cheek Face. Very much like
Oh.
Cheek Face. I know I keep bringing them up, but it literally sounds like a Cheek Face song. I don't mean that negatively at all, because I think they're great. But yeah, I think that all the songs are very different, and I think it's brilliant. It's really good.
Very good.
Yes, I would mirror your thoughts on it all sounding very different. I don't think it was. Yeah, I mean it was all good, but yeah, inconsistent in like styles and the way things were done on it. It was just odd. I really wish it was just recorded better and was just more polished. I know like sometimes the sort of rough around the edges style can be heard, but the songs had sometimes like big choruses and stuff, and it would have been nice to have heard those like properly done, instead of like kind of lo-fi ish.
I honestly didn't notice the kind of quality drop at all. It all seemed pretty
It
clear
just
to me.
I
Maybe
don't know,
we're
everything
just looking
sounded
for
a bit
different
rough
things,
around
I
the
guess.
edges. Yeah, I look for quality. Cal, what did you think?
I thought it was a really good EP. Is this the band's first like proper EP?
I think so.
Right, so it's first substantial piece. I know
There's a
what
few
Jan
singles
says.
before.
Yeah. I know what Jan says about the recording quality, but I think it's a very good offering song wise. For their first effort. Muscle Memory was my standout. I remember really liking it when we first heard it, and it stands up. I liked everything though, but I think that one stood out to me personally.
Stand up and stand out.
I did really like it. Don't get my comment wrong.
Yeah. I know what you mean. You're just a stickler for quality, aren't you?
We are.
You bloody well know it.
He is. Talking of
Talking of what Liam does regularly.
just trying to think of yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
Lizard.
Thanks, Yanni. From the band Lizard, we have the song Drool. Found it hard word hard to say. Drool. Yanni's showing us a picture of the Weezer Blue album, but all 4 of Weezer are replaced by Ed Sheeran in his green jumper. Still like a bit of a Goan, really.
He does like a Goan, yeah.
Just like a Goan. I don't know why he's on his phone during recording. I think that's quite unprofessional. I think
Because
our
you're talking,
listeners,
you're just fucking boring, mate. Come on.
our listeners don't expect that lack of commitment.
They wouldn't know.
Draw by Lizard. Tell us what you think.
Okay. I really like the riff, but I felt like the chorus just seemed a little bit too typical. I preferred the verses over the rest of the song. So there, Liam, suck a dick.
I will. Callum?
Yeah, I really liked it again. I thought the oohs were really effective. I don't. Was that in the chorus? Am I just juxtaposing what Yanni
That
said?
was just in... Oh, juxtapose. Hey!
Well, hey!
The oohs were just in your mind.
But yeah, no, I really liked it. Good tune. Good tune.
I really liked it too.
Oh, did you, Liam?
I did really
Why
like
did you like it? Tell me why you liked it, though.
I don't know. I just just felt good. It felt like a good.
I know what you mean. Just when it hit you. Right
Just
in
hit
the
me. Yeah, it just
feel-good
worked well.
centre.
I'm going to listen to it more. I'm going to listen to it much more. So, we move on to our next song. Because I've got a fever.
Can't say that in this day and age, mate.
Fever. No,
Coronavirus.
I haven't. COVID-free. Thank you. Fever is the name of
Las
the
Vegas.
band. Is this the wrong way?
No,
is
Fever's
Lizard
the name of the
wrong way?
band.
Okay, we got Draw and Lizard the wrong way around, but that doesn't matter. No, I think I said it right. Anyway, Fever released a new song called International Dream. Callum, can you tell us about this band?
Well, I can. Fever are signed to Blossom's label, Very Clever Records.
I don't think you needed to tell anyone that.
I assumed I'd
Pretty
been on here
apparent.
that it was.
Yeah, well,
was
the
good.
lead singer of Fever used to be in a band called Frontiers. I don't know if any of you have heard of them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. Well, I was a big fan of Frontiers. Obviously, they're not together anymore. And I don't know. I feel like if I didn't have an affinity to him through Frontiers, I really wouldn't be asked about this song at all.
Yep.
I think it's definitely my least favorite from Fever. It was a decent chorus. It was quite anthemic, but I don't know, just not really mad on it. It's quite typical. I think that's a key word we've had in this podcast episode.
Yeah. My note on it was nothing new.
Yeah.
That was all I put. Thanks, Liam.
Liam's just recycling pictures that we've already shared in the Zoom
Yeah.
call. We'll add them to
yeah.
our Instagram story, so go and follow us.
Nothing. Yeah, it was just nothing new. I was very, very underwhelmed by this, to be honest.
Yeah, so was I, because
Yeah.
I remember I put it in the news a couple of weeks ago that it was being released, because I was quite excited because they've not released anything for a few months. But it's just, as you say, very underwhelming.
Now, Liam. Now we must
Yes.
come to your thoughts. Not on that, because I've had enough of Fever, but on the Lounge Society. We alluded to. That's right. Tick
Mhm.
that off.
One
Tell
away
me
from bingo.
everything that's on your mind right now.
So what's on my mind right now is I don't know how to pronounce the second word in this song title, but I believe it's called Cain's Heresy. Now, who knows?
Is it not? Is it not hearsay? Have I read that wrong?
There's no A in it.
Oh wow!
I think it's pronounced heresy, but I could be wrong. I'm not very often.
Yanni's gonna be
But-
doing that forever.
Yeah, it's there, Yanni. It's stuck in your brain. I've listened to this song just before we recorded. I don't remember it,
Same.
but I remember liking it.
It's
if that
definitely heresy.
Oh yeah, no, I've just read it wrong. Yeah. I think I just
yeah, this
presumed
was.
that that's what it was. to be
I
fair.
don't know. Why did you suggest this? Did you like this band? Do you like this band? Yeah.
Did you mention earlier, Yanni, we did cover one of their songs previously called Burn the Heather, which you hated the metronome
Oh
on.
yeah. So yeah, I just tried to blank that out because it was so awful.
They're
This
also
again
signed
was not very
to they're signed to Speedy Wonderground,
Oh.
the very
Blind, didn't
ever growing label of new bands. So what did you think of this song? Do you remember? Anyone remember?
I've only heard
I
it
just-
once because it came out like 2 hours ago. I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it's just all right. Why is everything so mediocre this week, guys? Can someone just explain that to me, please?
Because you're just in a bit one of those moods, Jenny. Nothing's getting through. You know, that's all it is.
But now-
Some would say Yanni needs a little love.
Oh, they would be right, especially if they were the Fratellis.
Wow.
Open the pubs. Come
All
on.
I can hear now when I hear that song is Gaz.
Gaz. Yeah.
Inside joke there. I don't even think
It
anyone will
is.
get that.
It's an inside joke, that. But if you go and watch, they're not. Are they?
No, they're
who
not on
cares?
YouTube anymore.
Who cares? Yes, I've not listened to the Fratelli since Costello Music. What a album that is! Fantastic.
Yeah, great album.
It's a good album.
I like it. Yes. But this took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Seems like they've gone down the route of every other band from that area and just becoming shit. Because this was not good either. I swear the intro sort of like riff I've heard a million times. On some other things, like it was just a very typical sort of tune for that style. Yeah, it's just odd. Liam, did you get to listen to this, or
I did.
what do you think?
I didn't mind it. I
Mm.
didn't love it. I don't have a massive affinity for the Fratellis. But yeah, I thought the song was alright. It was better than I expected. You know, when we were talking about other bands like Las Vegas and stuff over the last few weeks, of bands of this similar time that have just gone the same direction. This seemed a bit better, but still not very interesting, I guess.
I thought the verse melody of the vocals was really nice, but I thought the chorus was just very crap and very generic, which kind of didn't help my like of the song. But I thought it was quite good. It was alright.
So was
alright.
this? There were 2 songs with this on Spotify. Is this a kind of little mini EP or?
No, it's an album coming, I think.
But so the other 2 songs have been released. Oh yeah, sorry, I can see them now as singles. So they've had 3 singles out in the last couple of months.
Yeah, the album was supposed to originally be very early last year, but it's that bloody COVID has got another one.
The bloody COVID.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
because one of them was released last February. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is a long time to wait. Just
Yeah.
fucking release the album at this point. Christ.
But anyway, from a band who have struggled to release one album to a songstress who has released 3 versions of the same one. Wow.
What?
Have we moved on?
We've
Oh, am I on the
skipped-
wrong one again?
We've skipped here, but go
Why
on,
do
tell
you
us more
Am I on the
about
wrong one again?
Dua Lipa. Tell us about Dua Lipa, please.
Sorry, I'm on a different screen. I don't know much about Dua Lipa as a person, but this is the Moonlight edition of Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. There's a plethora of new songs. Some we've already heard, such as whatever the song was with Miley Cyrus. What's that called? Prisoner?
Oh yeah.
What? She put this on her
Prisoner.
own album now.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a
Oh, was
piss take,
she?
innit?
Yeah, well, I think so. Maybe it wasn't that one.
Rude.
I
That's
don't
very
know.
rude. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just read it wrong. But
Dua Lipa. How do you spell that?
I thought the song "We're Good"
with an umlaut.
was very good. It's a great extension of an already very good album. I think personally she's the best pop star around at the moment. But yeah, I particularly enjoyed the mix of French and English vocals in Fever. I don't know how I haven't heard that song before because it's been out for about 3 months, but today was my first experience of that. That is all. Thank you for coming.
I've realised we could have had a great segue there if we'd have put the Fever song after that.
Yeah, sorry.
But, alas, we
Speaking
didn't.
of Fever,
I just wanted to.
I didn't listen to this.
Hang on, before you go.
I'm not going anywhere, baby.
The Prisoner was on only the Moonlight edition. It wasn't on the original.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Just
We're reviewing the Moonlight edition.
We're well aware of that, Liam. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's not as bad then.
Well, I'd
moaning,
say
Yanni.
it is.
You can add on the extended edition. Who cares? She's on the song.
I mean, they're all good.
think-
They're both going to get more money from it, regardless, aren't they? So
True.
It's true. True debt.
get an extra
Um,
0.006p per stream. Thanks, Spotify.
I think they've got a better distributor than us, mate.
No, that's just
It's
the,
also
that's
slightly
just the
different when they get
Spotify.
Is that the going
Billions
rate?
of streams.
Yeah.
303.
Next.
Oh.
30H3.
Oh.
Exclamation mark.
303.
These are
I
different,
didn't-
aren't they?
Yeah.
One of them's a cover. That being Tattooed Heart is of Ariana Grande,
Dart.
I believe. And then Love Somebody, I presume is their own. I don't know.
I didn't look into it, to be honest.
No,
Who knows?
I'm
Who
gonna
cares?
go out and say these are not good.
You didn't have to go out for that, mate.
I'm back
Stayed
now.
in.
Don't
You
worry.
did.
Don't worry, I'm back.
Yeah.
Quick one around the block. Yeah, they're not
Yeah,
good.
these
are
weren't
they?
good. No, they were.
They're not good.
I would say bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say bad.
One thing I would like to
I would
mention, not about these songs, but about 30 exclamation mark 3.
Mm.
I don't know if this is an official remix, but there is a remix with Weezer. So all my favorite songs mixed with one of their singles, I'm So Sad. I think so. I think
Okay.
the song is all my favorite songs, but I'm so sad.
Right.
I don't know if
Okay.
that appeals to any of you.
Yeah,
I
we'll definitely
listened.
listen to it.
I listened to I'm So Sad, and I got about 20 minutes through. 20 minutes, 20
Yes.
seconds. I just had it on loop. But yeah, didn't tickle me fancy.
Oh. Only
French
I can
fancy. Oh. Talking about tickling. Maybe. No.
That's a stretch, isn't it?
That's a stretch. I was going to. Nah, it doesn't matter. We have a song called Bedhead from
Thank you.
Manchester Orchestra. It's our last song of the Heart of the Press segment. And what did we think? Yanni, I'd like you to start, please. Yanni.
With a name like Manchester Orchestra, you'd expect them to make better songs than this.
Thank you, Yanni.
End of story.
You done? Yeah.
It was not very good, in my opinion. Yeah, I didn't enjoy this. That's as far as I'll go. Cal?
Well, when I first heard the opening riff, I thought, oh, I'm going to enjoy this. But then it just kind of didn't do anything. I thought, I
Yep.
don't know, I did quite like it. I've never heard of Manchester Orchestra before. This is my first experience of the band. But I don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not, because I think I was initially grabbed by the riff, but then just nothing happened. So I don't know. Not happy. I've decided here and now.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I didn't love it. As I said, the song The Gold is better, but I wouldn't say it's that much better.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be listening to them again. They didn't
Well,
do much for me.
they've got an album coming out in April, mate, so you're going to have to.
Oh,
Look forward to that
I'll
one.
Lovely birthday present.
I'll
for you.
avoid that. But you know what I can't avoid
Oh,
is a
wonderful.
beaming spotlight. Oh my! Can you guys see that? If you can't,
No.
you must be actually blind.
You
Because
can't
it's
see,
so,
man.
Right.
it's so bright. it's bloody. It is
got
blinding
paint in
in
his
of
eyes.
itself. You know what? I think it's trying to direct us to something here, guys. This spotlight. That thing very may well be an album. You might well call it an album spotlight.
Album Spotlight.
You're just going to cut out Liam shouting that in.
No, I might cut it so after the jingle, so Liam just sounds really late.
Yeah, do that, please. That'll sound
Do that.
great.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is an album
shit.
Spotlight.
Hang on.
So,
So,
So, Callum.
Callum, you tell us your thoughts.
Callum. Tell
Tell the lovely people of this podcast what we have had to listen to this week.
We have had to, and I say that with my chest, we have had to listen to Slowthai and the new album. Now, is it Tyron? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, that's what we're
Tyron.
going with.
Tyron, I think.
Tyron.
Tyron.
Okay. If anyone has listened to any previous episodes of our podcast, you will know we have hated everything that's come from this album to date. I can imagine that is a fact that will stick with Yanni. Oh, maybe not.
Nope.
Wow.
Oh,
However, personally, it's growing on me a little bit. However, I'm still not that big a fan. But
like fungus.
yep, like a big
a
old
fun
mushroom
guy.
on me toe. It's growing. 45 Smoke, Mazza, and Push are my personal highlights.
What?
You are.
What?
Your brain
Well,
is
that's
turned
fine,
to
innit?
mush, my friend.
That's fine,
That
isn't it?
mushroom is driving you crazy.
It's fine. That's the
bro.
beauty of music. It's personal preference.
Oh, but sometimes
You're
it
not allowed
just
personal
isn't.
preference on this.
Anyway, you can talk in a minute. Fuck off.
Fuck.
I nearly said bog off, and then I thought I can't say that. I have been watching a bit of Tracy Beaker, but no.
Buy one.
How was the new Tracy Beaker?
First episode was not very thrilling. Anyway, I don't personally think this album is different enough to Nothing Great About Britain, and I don't think it's better than that. So, kind of thinking, what's the point? However, I do kind of think that I've just gone off Slowthai. Maybe I've grown up. Maybe I've
I
realised.
wonder why.
Yeah, maybe I've realised he's not the nicest of people.
Piece
But-
of shit.
Yes, alas. I did like it more than the single suggested I would. But, you know, that's not really saying too much because I did have high expectations of Slowthai because I really liked Nothing Great About Britain. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say about it. Go on, you
Cool,
guys
so,
tell me why I'm wrong.
Guess we'll finish there. Go on, Yanni.
Go on, Liam.
Go on, Yanni.
Go on, Liam.
Hey, Yanni.
It's Liam. Go on.
Go on, I'll go.
Yeah.
I've never listened to his first album. Anything I've heard from it, I didn't like. I haven't listened to this album. Everything I've heard from it, I don't like.
Oh my god. Have you actually
No.
not listened to it at
No,
all?
I have. I have listened
Oh,
to it.
okay. Thank
I
God.
listened to it in full. Uno Timo.
Yep.
That's one time. In
Everyone knows
Portuguese.
that. God.
One time.
I had seen talks of the second half being quite different to the
Two
first half.
time.
And most people
Sorry.
Three
people
times
had
a lady.
said it was thanks guys. Most people have said it was better than the first half. When listening to it, I did think the second half was better than the first half. It was less abrasive. Is that kind of abrasive in your face style that he has, which I hate.
Get out my face.
I think
Slowthai.
instrumentally it was all right. The second half again was better than the first half for me. I don't like Slowthai style. I don't like what he says. I don't like how he says it. I don't like it. Not into it. Some of the features were all right. You know, you've got who have you got on there?
Skepta. ASAP Rocky.
Skepta sounded all right. ASAP Rocky sounded all right.
Dominic
Dominic
Fike,
Fike, Denzel Curry, Deb Never. Just naming them all really. James Blake and Mount Kimby. They were all probably the highlights. And that's all I have to say really. Didn't like it.
Wow, okay. Well, I will agree with you, Liam, that the second half is superior to the first. I can't stress that point enough. I tried to go into this with an open mind. And by open mind, I mean forget about the bad things he's done and some of the context behind maybe some of the lyrical content. So, 45 Smoke, meh. Cancelled, I do enjoy that, especially the instrumental. I really like the instrumental on Cancelled, it's really nice. And if I just forget about the fact that it's a scummy song and subject to write about from their perspectives, it is enjoyable.
I can go
But
on board with that.
but you can't go too deep with it because otherwise it's scummy. The Mazza instrumental is annoying, and the fact that Slowthai keeps on going out of time with his flow is even more frustrating. It pisses me off so much. I don't think A$AP Rocky brings enough to the table to make that any better. I put Slowthai's flow keeps on going out of time. And then I put Like Dead. So I've clearly just glossed over the rest of those. Vex and What. Glossed over those. I Like Dead. That's all I put on that. Playing with Fire, the instrumental was hot. See what I did there at 10 past midnight. I enjoyed the hook. Could do without the ending though, where it changes style, I believe. Let me just quickly... Yeah, so it changes style like near the end, and I liked everything before the end bit. And then this 2 or side 2, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to argue with you. I can't hear you. I'm pre-recorded. I really enjoyed it in comparison to the first half, and it was nice to hear Slowthai rap over this type of instrumental. So like more typical sampled beats. I know some of the other ones have like sampled in, I know that, but this was more like your typical style, like old school, more rapping, and I enjoyed that more. NHS is still wank. It's still shit.
Not a great tribute to such a fantastic thing we have.
Establishment.
Yes, establishment. James Blake sounds fantastic.
He sounds really good.
Feel Away, especially. He's like the highlight of that. To be honest, he's probably one of the best parts of the album is when he's doing his part on it. But yeah, overall, second half far superior, and would like to see Slow. I've just shortened it there. Continue with that style, because the in your face style, I've heard it on the first album, which he did 10 times better, and I've grown sick of it now. Now he's a knobhead. When he's in your face, it pisses me off. Back before he did anything, that we knew about bad, in the release of the first album, it wasn't. It was quite cool and new. Not new, but it was cool to see it from him doing it. But yeah, now it's just like I already think you're a dickhead, so please stop acting like one. Right, shouting down my ear holes. I don't appreciate it. So ratings, got a bing bang boom. Cal, hit me with it.
6 out of 10.
Yanni.
Liam.
Yanni.
Liam.
Yanni.
Liam, go for God's sake.
I don't know.
But you're always one about alphabetical order, so bloody go.
Oh, for God's sake, don't throw that back in my face.
No, I'll throw it back in your face. Idiot!
I do kind of feel harsh doing this, but I'm going to say 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to say 5 out of 10. Let me go back. Let me say 5 out of 10. I didn't enjoy any of it, but I didn't think it was awful.
Okay, 5 out of 10. I would say it was a 5 out of 10. If it was all the second half, like if it was more like the second half, then it'd be higher up, but it's not. So I'm also going to say 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
So,
wow.
Liam, give me a rundown, please. I want mode right now.
You want the mode? I'll give it to you.
Right now.
The mode is 5.
Median.
5, baby. It's 5. 5, 5, 5, baby.
Mean.
The mean is a bit more difficult. What was it? It's 5.3 recurring.
And then range boys are not going to enjoy this.
It's just a single digit. It's just a 1. It's just a lonely one.
It's always single digits. It's always going to be a single digit, surely.
If Liam didn't
true.
wimp
That's
out
true.
of giving it a 4, the Range Boys would have had more of an exciting week.
Fuck the range boys. I don't give a shit about them.
He doesn't. He's told me in private he really hates the
Yeah,
range fans.
So if you're a range fan and listen to this, you need to go elsewhere. That's what I'm saying. So that's it. Tyrone from
Slow.
Slowthai.
That was it. Now we must go to another section of the podcast because it's split up after all into different sections to keep it interesting for the listeners at home. This one is Under the Needle. We're here in the land of the needles. Liam, I just want to say directly to you that there is no point in this section today because we don't have anything. But I must announce there will be a video up on YouTube. It's about Liam's obsession with the band Sports Team and all bar one of their records that he owns. So if you want to see more of Liam, which everyone does, come on, especially Liam, he'll be watching it more than anyone else, then go to our YouTube channel and watch that video. It'll be up as of yesterday when you're hearing this podcast. I think the only thing I can add to Under the Needle is that it's a cracking segment, and next week there will be more. So,
cheeky.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Bit of both. So next week's album spotlight, we don't have one yet, but we will announce it on the Instas.
Yep.
That's Instagram.com, as we've established at the very start of the podcast. We'll let you know. We'll put it up there, but we feel like it's going to be either a band no one's heard of before, or something that we're going to want to rip our ears out to.
Yeah.
We're trying to avoid Trippy Red at all costs. Just to get that out there into the universe.
Well, what I will say is, regardless as to whether or not it's album spotlight, I will be doing the new Mogwai album because that has tickled my earbuds with the singles.
That's got in deep, isn't it?
Yeah, right in there. Right in.
So you know where to follow us. Liam, just in case they don't, what's the Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram and Facebook is Fools and Hill Podcast, at Fools and Hill Podcast.
And Twitter?
Fools and Hill
might
Pod.
they find us?
They might find us on twitter.com / Fools and Hill Pod. I don't know if that's
now,
true.
if they
Maybe.
wanted to view this on the,
Well,
I'm
not
going to say
this.
the word again, aforementioned YouTube channel, the Under the Needle section, which is not an Under the Needle section this week, it would be what, Liam?
If you want to see me talk about my sports team records, go to Fools and Hill on YouTube. It's
And
pretty easy. You could guess
just
it if you wanted
because
to.
Even though we said we won't mention playlist again, don't forget there's a Valentine's Day playlist out, and it's
There's
hot.
not.
It's not out. You've not released
No,
it to
it
anyone?
will be out with the February playlist.
Oh,
It's not
well,
separate.
in that
It's
case,
mixed in.
keep your ears peeled and
peeled.
maybe, I don't know, do something with your life. Why are you listening to us?
Beginning of
Christ.
March. Beginning of March will be a February playlist. January playlist is out now. All the hottest tunes from January 2021.
Yes, but Cal, just say the first thing that comes to your head when I say the word moon.
Taylor Swift. However, I would
And
like to say, sorry. I would just like to say, for all the people who like to play Fools on a Hill bingo, there has been, yeah, you're all gonna be itching to get that last stamp.
Don't give it to
For you
him.
to shout. Do you not want me to give it to them? Do you want me to keep
Don't
them?
give it to him.
keep
I wanna
him- Keep them coming back
Pain.
for more.
on the pain, to be real.
Wow.
No, because it
Before we go
resets every
proper-
episode, so they've lost out.
Well, fair enough. But Liam, in the last few episodes, you've given us some lovely words to live by.
I have indeed.
Do you have any this week?
I do actually, Callum. I do actually have some wise words. Or some other question that I've pondered on over the last year. Become a fan of Creedence Clearwater Revival in 2020. Really resonated with me over the last year. Some of the messages from those songs around the Vietnam War. But one of my favourite questions to ponder is, I want to know, have you ever seen Lorraine? And on that note, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye to you.
I do actually fancy Lorraine Kelly, and it's a bit weird.